Let's take a quick look at some high points of the accounting industry's history. Accounting has been around since society started to barter for goods and services, and people wanted to record those transactions. Recorded on papyrus or clay tablets, they weren't very portable. Move forward to the 15th century, and Luca Pacioli, a monk, was credited with being the first to use double entry accounting and to create financial statements. A workhorse of the office, the adding machine, was created in 1890 to the relief of accountants everywhere. The creation of corporations and the spread of the railway led to an increased demand for faster financial information. This also meant that the average person could participate in different forms of investment formerly only available to the wealthy. The accounting profession was formally recognized in 1896 with the designation of the Certified Public Accountant. They were instrumental in maintaining investor confidence as an independent third party. IBM released the first computer in 1952, again much to the delight of accountants everywhere. Desktop software improved and increased in functionality. Cloud accounting started in 1998 with NetSuite, the first web-hosted accounting software. 2001 saw Microsoft acquire Great Plains Software, and it took until 2009 for smaller players to break into this market. From 2015 onwards, the industry has exploded with new apps and new programs. This brings me back to my original question. Are you going to be a modern accountant or a traditional one? We are a conservative bunch, so accounting firm adoption has been inconsistent. Firms that have adopted to these new technologies have documented improvements across the board. So how can you tell what type of an accountant you are? Let's take a look at this and ask yourself which one looks like your firm. One of these variations will be the future and one won't. So let's look at some of the differences between a traditional firm, the dinosaur, and a modern firm. Pricing. In the traditional firm, pricing is determined after the work is completed, and it's based on the amount of time the staff person spent times an hourly bill-out rate, less any write-downs. A modern firm predetermines before the work is even started what the price is going to be and bases it upon an agreed-upon value with the client. Traditionally, there's no timekeeping component other than for capacity planning. In terms of technology, the traditional firm still uses an exchanged backup drive with the client. Here I'll swap you my finger drive, your old finger drive. They have desktop solutions for all the programs, and there's very little that's online. The modern firm, they're all over online. Online is where it's at. Transactions are downloaded automatically, and they're linked to pictures of the receipt. A favorite saying is, I've got a zap for that. In terms of marketing, in a traditional firm, yellow pages and random word of mouth are the traditional advertising methods. And there's no consistent or planned marketing plan. In a modern firm, you blog and tweet and take pictures for your Instagram regularly. Your Facebook is a mixture of personal and business, so people feel like they know you. So who are you? And do you want to stay that way? If you're squarely in the traditional column, I challenge you to take a look at the future of your client demographics. If you don't keep up, your younger clients will call you a dinosaur and move on to someone who can communicate and give them what they're looking for. We're all accountants, and there's nothing we like better than numbers, so let's take a look at couple. What do you think of these numbers? 17% year-over-year average growth, 65% higher average annual revenue per small business client, 2/3 less staff turnover, and 3 times more communications with clients. Pretty nice, aren't they? How do they compare to the ones your firm is currently generating? Let's take a look at some of the things that will move you into a modern firm. First of all, modern firms make use of automation and cloud-based accounting. Why? Well, first off, you can log in anywhere into the accounting software as long as you have an internet connection. It's platform agnostic, so it doesn't matter whether you're a Mac user or Windows user, or maybe you're doing it on your phone or your tablet. Doesn't matter. You can still log in. The software is always up to date. You never have to worry about stopping to install the latest update. It allows for real-time collaboration. So I, the accountant, can be looking at the same numbers my client is looking at and see in real time the changes I make. It enables automation of processes, and it improves your security because all modern accounting softwares require logins and, in most cases, two-factor authentication. It increases the efficiency in your office and decreases errors because you can automate a lot of the work. It disaster-proofs your record keeping. Doesn't matter once you've uploaded your receipt into your accounting software, if that receipt is later lost or drowned in some sort of a water incident or is in a house fire or anything like that, it doesn't matter because that picture of that receipt is already there. It's also pandemic proof. As we've all seen over the last year and a half, things can suddenly change and you no longer have access to working with the documents within your office, or maybe your client has documents and has to get them to you. How do you get them in a pandemic? It reduces costs for storage, filing, mailing, printing, and office equipment because you need a scanner and you don't need to have a lot of printers. You don't need to go through a lot of paper or laser print heads or reams and reams and reams of storage file cabinets. Gone is the storage compartment that you store all your old paper files at. You don't need to anymore. Of course, it leads to happier staff. And because of the automation you can implement within your office, that staff is happier because they're doing more challenging work. They're doing advisory work, which is what their skill level should have them doing, rather than just typing in documents. Now, it's not just as easy as throwing a few procedures together. Your whole system should be examined to see if it matches where you want your firm to be and how do you want it to operate moving forward. It might mean that some of your processes will change. Some of your staff people might be doing different things before and after, but that's okay. Step 1 defines what your current system looks like. What are your services? What job positions are there? Who are your clients? How do we accept clients? How do we measure our performance? Who does what? How long does this take? What current processes make you the most revenue? Most gross revenue, most net revenue? Do you like providing those services or would you like to provide different services? Step 2 is to define what success looks like for your firm. And every firm will be different. Some partners want to grow very rapidly so that they can cash in retirement. Some want to develop a staff and turn the company over to them within a certain time period. Have a discussion with your staff, starting with partners. Without their support and guidance, massive changes won't stick and they can't be implemented. So here's some things that you might want to ask. What is your version of a perfect firm or a perfect job? What does the compensation look like for all of your positions within the firm? What services will be provided? Do we need to add some new ones? Remove some old ones? What type of client do we want to work with? Build yourself a client avatar. What does that perfect client look like? Where do they buy? What services are they looking for? How do you reach them? You'll need that for your marketing. Where will people work? 100% remote? 100% in the office? Some sort of a hybrid between the two of them? Of course, how do we know when we have our perfect system? What are our goalposts? And how will we measure that success? Step 3 takes the current system and tears it apart. If you were just starting a new firm, what would it look like? What changes did you identify from steps 1 and 2? Now compare the system to your current one. What changes do you need to make? Can you create efficiency by moving some things around? How do you align the current system to your perfect system? Next, you'll need to test your new system out for size. Does it do what you want it to do? What improvements can still be made? Implement those changes. Did it work? Or does it still need some work? Go back to step 1 with your perfect firm. Is there anything else that you would like to change or streamline? Implement, test, and repeat will be something you do on a regular basis, so schedule it into your calendar. Now, this may sound like it's an awful lot to absorb, so let's take a deeper dive into doing step 1, and we'll do that in the next video. We'll take a look at how to document what your current firm looks like and put it on a spreadsheet. We'll then use this spreadsheet to complete the rest of the process review. So we'll see you in the next video.